us in the morning, and I appreciate him deeply. So I'm gonna feed Onyx, and we finna do us some yoga and get into the vibes. My loves, I wanted to take a minute to really talk about how yoga has really been benefiting my life recently. As you guys know, I'm always sharing my journey with you as far as how I started yoga, how it kind of called to me, and why I'm so consistent with it. Recently in my life, a theme of consistency has been showing up because as there's been this one quote that has been repeating in my head consistently by Sarah West. And if y'all don't know Sarah West, I'm putting you onto that bitch right now. Go on YouTube and search up Sarah West and start doing her yogas, because her yoga literally has changed my life. And there's this one specific quote that she said in one of the workout flows, where it was like, it's in the small repetitive moments that we build strength. So I've been doing yoga probably for a few years. I want to say about 3 years now. Actually, no, probably even longer than that. But in general, like, what I've really just been able to take away from that whole experience is that the consistency is the hard part, and that the courage is not the absence of fear. Therefore, even when you don't feel like doing it, even when you're afraid of how to continue to increase, how to continue to evolve, how to continue to develop your practice, it's the fact that you show up every single day that makes it remarkable. It's the fact that you continue to keep going that makes it the practice that it is. So the goal for me is never, like I always say, is never for it to be perfect. It's never for all of my mechanics to be exactly perfect. Now, I do still practice some Iyengar yoga, which, as you know, is completely focused on alignment. However, most of the practices and most of the ones that I share with you guys are my specific flows that I come up with. And the reason why I always want to show you guys what they are is because I feel like you always need to keep in mind that there is a variety, there is options, and there is no way to necessarily get started other than to make that decision to try. So for me, it just kind of shows up naturally. And honestly, it's another thing that I have been noticing, like stepping out of my shell and being more comfortable practicing anywhere with anyone at any given moment. And the fact that my commitment and the fact that my consistency has allowed me to gain the courage to practice anywhere with anyone at any given moment, that's been the biggest takeaway. So honestly, as you continue to develop your practice, it's never gonna start out with you understanding exactly how to do it and exactly what's the most beneficial way and exactly how you're gonna go about doing it. It's more so gonna be a practice of you ebbing and flowing and figuring out what you like and what you don't like. So, and honestly, when I first started out, my yoga teacher had us do the same thing every single day. It's usually sun salutations. Ashtanga yoga is definitely not my tea, because it's basically where you have to do the same pose every single time, or not the same pose, but the same routine every single time. And yes, there's a bit of creativity, but you kind of have a limit in which you can practice, if that makes sense. And I just didn't resonate with that. So from that point, obviously that was my first introduction to it. So I started kind of figuring out, okay, well, there's different types of yoga, there's different ways that we can use our body, and I'm drawn to the most creative kinds. And when I'm on my cycle, it can be yin or restorative yoga. But throughout my entire time, I think that the most beneficial aspect has been the actual point of time in which I actually took the effort to try. And another thing that I also want to talk about is religion. When it comes to religion, there is no scripture that says that yoga has to be a religious practice. It can be a religious practice, and in many places it is a religious practice, but it does not have to be. As I continue to develop my knowledge on the subject matter, when it comes to yoga, the goal is to align yourself with your spirit, and it's kind of a vessel through which you can access a higher version of yourself. It's a meditative movement in which you can access your higher self. And so when it comes to Black people, a lot of us, you know, have obviously adopted Christianity as our religion based on what we were forced to practice when we came here. However, by nature and by culture, we are not necessarily always going to be aligned with Christianity, because that is not actually what our ancestors practiced before we got here. With that being said, having a spiritual practice and a meditative one specifically is not requiring you to believe in anything other than the power within yourself, your Ori, which is your inner self, your highest self. And I think that the practice of figuring out how to align with that version of yourself is figuring out what is my happiness and how do I find that natural state of being. We on our way to stroll like an alpha. And yeah, this is the fits, and Tori is performing, so we got our bitch a basket, period A, perfect A.
Yes, Tori's basket, RV.
So
She gonna be strolling.
She gonna be strolling. I wanna see them hit that shit, dog. I wanna hear them hit that. No. So yeah. But we gotta walk all the way to fucking Epps. Damn, we could have went the back way. Well, the back way, I guess, would have been even longer, though, to get to the front. Actually, no, it would have been still shorter. But we still have to meet Quante, and he live over there. Yeah. It's never been a function that I ain't hit that. Back it up, and turn to the right. Yeah, flex your body. Ooh, you're so sexy.
Right, trust no one.
And you know I had to hit that wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble baby. I said 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 get down, yeah, get down, yeah, get down, yeah, get down. Yeah, I said big girl, can you back it up? Can you back it up? morning. He wanted to join the meditation. Oh, so cute.